About to slap that ass, baby. About to slap it so hard. You ever seen this motherfucker running naked through your backyard?
We're talking video talk. We're talking
Video talk, bitch, we're talking video talk. Get your video talk. You best subscribe. You best subscribe or die. You best subscribe or dive to video talk.
Hey, hello everybody and welcome to the video talk. Nice to be back. Last Sunday I didn't have show because I didn't get my goddamn vinegar syndrome package because obviously the FedEx just fucked up. They claimed that they were at my door, but I was in the house the whole goddamn day, so nobody came, and they just, you wasn't home, and I told them, man, I was at home, and you didn't come, but now I got my vinegar syndrome package and then some, so now I greet you. How the hell are you guys? 8 people watching, and Timo M, Hosuli Hemuli, and Sami Elämä, Jay the Cinemaniac, and Henk Meister, and Ace Man are in the house. And Hosuli Hemuli asks, does somebody have hangover? No, actually I don't. I even did my exercise. I didn't stay up too late yesterday, so no hangover over here. I speak English now. Didn't know that. I feel good. I know I should. Yeah. Okay. So well, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't have any special announcement or anything, so maybe I just proceed with the unboxing unless you have something to ask or something to say. Good evening, everybody, says Steven Grimes, and Yokolonak is also in the house. And remember, this is a live show, so you may ask anything, ask questions, and if you are watching this as a recording, you may ask or give your comments in the comment section. And as usual, I would appreciate if you hit that like button, and also please keep in mind that some portions of the show may or may not be used as a standalone video. I gotta say, this is my first time in Video Talk live show. Should have been here more often. Well, Sami Elämä, I will let you decide. Maybe I will ask you later if you are still around when the show is stopping. So my studio is pretty much the same than in the Finnish show, and I even have my police lights on, and goddamn my video talk, what do you call this? Marquee video talk. Sign video talk, and also, hey, Timo M, congrats for the 1500 subs. Oh my god, Timo M, whoa, holy shit. Okay, Timo, I will put the thank you for the super chats online, and also the alert box if there should be any more else. Hey, yeah, my channel reached 1500 subs, and if you're new here, hit that subscription button. And yeah, 1000 and 1500 isn't that much, but yeah, gonna be honest with you, this is the time that I have to use for the channel right as of now, because I know I could do more, and maybe I would get more subscriptions if I would do more videos, and precisely do videos and live, but as of now I don't have too much time, because this is like my secondary YouTube project, because my main channel is the Video Space channel on YouTube. So maybe someday I will put some more resources for the video talk, but this is the situation now. Most entertaining film podcast on the net. Oh my god, that is a lot to say, Steven Grimes. That is a lot to say. How could this be the most entertaining most entertaining film podcast. Come on, get real. But I'm very glad that you approve. All right, hey, now let's start unboxing. And first up, we have this. No. This is not an Amazon package. This came from eBay because I was trying to order this thing from Amazon. That's basically my main channel to order films. But for some reason, this is a smaller label film, and so for some reason they didn't have any pieces of this film to sell. So Sami Elämä has just subscribed. Hey, Sami Elämä, yeah, yeah, Sami Elämä. Yeah, but I got this from eBay, and do I have the receipt of this? Is this the correct receipt? Yeah, I paid $21.80 on this film, and probably total it was $27 for including shipping. So I think this was a good deal. So what is this? Okay, it's only one movie, but it's not any movie. This is Robot Monster. Oh my god. Check this baby out. This is a science fiction film from year which year? Was it from 1953? It's so fucking small. This fucking year is so fucking small. I don't see. But yeah, early 50s classic science fiction trashy turkey film, and maybe if you're at all interested in this like 50s science fiction, you probably at least have heard of this film. Now, the first time I heard about this film was I loaned from the library this Nalle Virolainen Roska-elokuvat trash films book, and I remember reading about this film, but that was like early 90s in Finland, so this was impossible to see from anywhere. And then for some reason I didn't even get the DVD. I know it has been released previously on DVD, but now I got this fantastic 70th anniversary restoration in 3D, and that means in Blu-ray 3D. So I will put my 3D goggles on and do this interview through that, because this, like you probably know, but Blu-ray 3D meaning that you don't have to use these. You use these type of glasses that, oh my god, I can't see anything through these glasses, so I will put them here. But yeah, you don't have to use these crappy red and blue glasses, because you can use these real 3D glasses. And while they're not the most perfect glasses you can ever wear, but at least you don't get a freaking headache when you're using these correct glasses. And I didn't even know that this thing was even shot on 3D until I got this. I read the announcement of Robot Monster coming on Blu-ray, and I was like, yeah man, I gotta get this. And I think this was announced like as a Kickstarter campaign, so people could fund this. And there's a documentary on this disc for they went through various prints, because if a 3D film from the 50s or the 80s or whatever, if there's no like clear print, like a pristine print, it's very difficult to do the restoration, because 3D, you know, it demands like two separate pieces of different films of the same movie, just like a from slightly different angle, if I can explain this like understandably. So finding a pristine print for both of these pictures and restoring so that they don't, you know, flicker the different eyes don't flicker at the different time. It is very, very difficult. So before we go there, let's investigate the Robot Monster Blu-ray. And yeah, we get a basic release. I don't know if their Kickstarters got there some sort of a slipcover or special packaging. So you can see this is a very standard looking packaging. And it was restored by the 3D Film Archive, which I have many of the films from 3D Film Archive, and especially from the 50s and 70s and whatnot, and the 80s. But I was kind of surprised that this is a very small label release, Bayview Entertainment, and I would like to think that someday they will do a reissue through Kino Lorber, because Kino Lorber have done lots of releases that were restored by the 3D Film Archive. Yeah. Okay, this film, now, this is a classic trashy film, and this film is starring Roman. It's not a human, it's a Roman. God damn it. The film's director Phil Tucker, somewhere he found a gorilla suit and also this kind of like a diver's helmet, this kind of old-fashioned diver's helmet. So he put the antennas on the diver's helmet and called this thing, wearing gorilla suit and diver's helmet, he called it a Roman, because he's a robot monster, and he has arrived to Earth, and some using this what was the ray called, calcium ray or something. Using this deadly calcium ray, this guy has single-handedly destroyed all armies of the world and all people in the world except for 8 people. So this story is about Roman searching in California, searching these 8 people, and these 8 people, or should I say 5 people, they are living behind these kind of electrical fences, because the fences are protecting some from the Roman signal, so Roman cannot find them, so they are hiding there and trying to find a way how to destroy Roman. And god damn it, this is absolutely hilarious film. The dialogue, it is its own class, and I don't know why these people, they keep going behind the fence. The kids are constantly going behind the electrical fence just to get under the mercy of Roman. And even this young couple, they get married and they, hey, we are going on our honeymoon. Yeah, we are going to the fields. And these other people say, yeah, that's fantastic, just go there. And what happens? Well, Roman arrives and kidnaps the lady. And then, get this, Roman falls in love with this lady, and then this Roman receives signals from his superiors from the sky, and then he says, you must destroy the woman. And then Roman says, I must, but I can't. I must, but I can't. I must, but I can't. He says it 3 times. It's absolutely fantastic, trashy film. And the duration was just little under 80 minutes, and that is also padded with this, of course, it's a 50s film. You cannot do a film where whole world is destroyed. You gotta have this kind of epilogue and prologue to explain that this was all a dream. So that's bullshit, but that's kind of funny bullshit considering this subject matter. And okay, so Roman's base in this one cave, what was the place called? Some canyon. I think this is a very popular place was very popular place to shoot westerns and science fiction films back in the day near Los Angeles or something. And yeah, the Roman's base is in that cave. He has one screen there and one radio equipment, and for some reason he has some soap bubble machine there, and it is constantly blowing out of soap bubbles. I don't know. What was the reasoning behind that? I don't know. I don't even know. But yeah, hey, I highly recommend Robot Monster if you are at all a fan of a 50s science fiction and or fan of, you know, bad B class science fiction film. This is definitely something that you need to check it out. I strongly recommend this film. But the picture quality, let's go over there. So this is a 3D film, and obviously I watched the 3D version of this film, not this crappy motherfucking red and blue glasses version, but this real 3D version. And I gotta tell you, for a film that was shot with only $16,000, only on 4 days, in 3D, back in the 1953 or something, I gotta tell you, it is pretty well done. I mean, I have seen worse, bigger budget movie of 3D movies that were, you know, worse than this. So I gotta hand it to these guys. They really knew their stuff. So the picture quality, because it was so well shot and very well lit, so the picture quality looks like it was a bigger budget film. Because I have seen Blu-rays from 1950s films, and this is perfectly on par with the best restorations on this one. And also gotta give the credit to the 3D film archive and all the people who were restoring this thing, because the picture quality most of the time is very, very good, considering all the circumstances. And now, Hosuli Hemuli asks, does it have 3D pop-up effects? Indeed it does. Indeed it does, but is it the best I've ever seen? No, it is not, because for example, film Creature from the Black Lagoon around the same time, I think it has better 3D effects. But considering the budget and the time they had to use this, it is good enough. I mean, this has kind of like a modern feel to it, because it doesn't try to use the 3D as a gimmick. It is more like a plain effect. If you at all get what I'm going with this, you know, like more in modern films, you get if it's a 3D film, you get the front plane and you get the back plane, and clearly it's like 3D. So basically the 3D effect here is pretty much that. But there was like soap bubbles coming out of the screen once, and Roman, especially in the end, Roman is walking through the screen. But yeah, I gotta tell you that wasn't that impressive 3D effect. But yeah, I think overall this release, picture quality wise, was more than I was expecting. Simply more than I was expecting of this film. And the extras, there were bundles of extras. Like I mentioned already, there were extras about the restoration process of this thing. Very interesting, especially if you're a 3D freak like I am. And then there was some Bela Lugosi short film, and then this kind of like weird comedy act, but basically it was shown in the screenings of Robot Monster before the film. So like this comedy guy making fun of this film. So that was pretty weird extra, and pretty weird that they even have back in the day included this as a part of this show. But yeah, but I gotta mention this one extra, precise the interviews and usual interviews and makings of, and then it was absolutely fantastic extra. Like a collection of stereoscopical photographs from the 1950s and 60s. You know, they were handled so like these, they are like photos of photos of Americana in the 50s. And because they are 3D, they don't look like that old pictures. They look like they were taken yesterday, but the people look 50s people, obviously, and the cars and the buildings and that. And that was very, very nice zeitgeist extra. And that was probably the best extra on this disc. Very nice stuff. I liked it. So overall, I will definitely, hey, if you are not fan of trashy films, then you will probably give 1 star for this film. But I am a fan of trashy films. I will give the film 5-star rating. I think this is more better trashy film than Plan 9 from Outer Space, even though that is usually the the holy grail of the trashy films. But I think this beats it. And for the release, hey, it is the more than I was expecting. So I gotta give it 4 stars because, okay, one minus I have to say about the extras. They were like weirdly separated in the menu, like 2D extras and 3D extras, and there was no sub menu. So basically every extra is on in one video. So you cannot skip. You don't know what to expect in these extras. So that was a minor minus, but 5 stars for the movie and 4 stars for the release. Hey, if you like it, recommend it. Yeah. Hey, Tutti Punti! Hey, Tutti Punti! Congrats for the 1500 subs! Yeah, Tutti Punti! Thank you! Timo M, thank you! And Hangover, no. I remember the bubbles looked good in 3D. Hey, Jokolonak, they were clearly they were probably thinking, what is the best thing we can make as a 3D effect? I got it. Soap bubbles. And Phil Tucker was lame. What the fuck, let's do that, man. Let's fucking do that shit. Okay. So, moving on. And this thing was not from eBay, was not from Amazon, and this thing actually was from Finnish eBay, Huutonetti. And this was something that I was mad for myself because why didn't I get this? Because this sold out pretty quickly back in the day when it was released, 2018 or 2019. But then that was the first time I have seen this thing in Huutonetti, and then I had to went for it and paid this for was it $40, €40 or something? But I think it was worth it. Yeah. So here we have depricing on Kinolorber Blu-ray. And one of the reasons that I didn't get this for the first time was because I had the cheapo 2-disc, cheapo Blu-ray of this, which also included the Puppet Masters film, but that was kind of a crappy low-budget release. So, but I didn't upgrade it then, but now I did the upgradation, and let's see what we have here. Anybody familiar with the depricing? Hit that in the comments, because I will talk about the depricing now. But now let's observe. Hey, this seller sent me this absolutely fantastic plastic covering, because this is a Kinolorber release and it even has a slip cover. Great looking slip cover. And then in the inside, full screen ahead, depricing. And then we have the reversible sleeve as well here. So, what is depricing? Depricing is a film directed by Steven Sommers, the same guy who directed the Mummy films. Yeah, I really don't like Mummy films. I think I have seen the first Mummy when it was in the cinemas, but I don't think I have ever watched the sequel to Mummy. And let's keep that here. But I think depricing, it was made before the Mummy, and I think the flashing lights are giving us the seats. Maybe I should turn the flashing lights down. Okay, maybe I will do that. Okay, I will do that. Okay. No Caesars anymore. Yeah. So this is a film from 1998, and this was released week after Titanic, and that was especially damaging to the film because this is kind of like of the same subject than Titanic, which was it was clearly the most famous film in the world. It was the king of the world, and then after that came this kind of like B-movie roller coaster ride, Deep Rising, and this film is starring Treat Williams and Famke Janssen, and plenty of other good actors too. Kevin J. Connor and Wes Studi are also in this film. And this is about this bunch of mercenaries who go to this luxury cruise ship on the Chinese Ocean, and then they just find out that, hey, where is everybody? And it turns out that these sea monsters have invaded the cruise ship, and now they have to, get out of there alive. So that's the basic plot of the film. So this is a creature feature, this is a giant monster feature, and I think this is absolutely great thrill ride. I have seen these films many of times, and then, I got this ache in my tooth, and man, I really needed to see this Kino Lorber release of this, because this includes also hefty extras. Okay, maybe the CGI effects in this thing are pretty outdated and stuff, but I think the charisma of Treat Williams, it is enough to compensate about the lack of CGI effects, but they are the product of its time, and I think this has been very impressive. I don't think this was in cinemas back in the day. I don't recall seeing this in cinemas, because I would have instantly gone to watch this in the cinemas, but I don't recall going there, because I think this was directly to video, because it flopped so hard in the American cinemas. But we got the video release and watched it back then and liked it, and have watched it since from that cheap quality Blu-ray, but now this is definitely an upgrade on that thing. And yeah, Famke Janssen. Famke Janssen. Only few years after James Bond, GoldenEye, Famke Janssen. Oh my god. What a gorgeous lady. She's also in this film. And this film has a lot of humor in it, and a lot of kind of like a pretty gory scenes as well. And this was an R-rated film. And no, it's not a PG film, but this is a, R-rated film as it should be. And there's some gory corpses and whatnot, and gooey effects. And in the making of the makers of the film said that the special effects guy said that, yeah, we made a very awesome effect when the captain gets killed. We made a, like a animatronics puppet of the captain, and skin is peeled off from that guy, and eyes are popping out of the dummy, and even the brains are coming out. And the producers saw that dailies, and they were like, hey, great job, guys, that looks really awesome, but guess what, we cannot use this. This was, after all, this was produced by Disney. It was this Touchstone Picture, Hollywood Pictures release, so basically that's a subsidiary for Disney, so maybe it was a bit too much, so the high-ups on the Disney company probably would have said that, hey, not so far. Yeah, overall, very entertaining film, lots of fun, and lots of good stuff, and Treat Williams has good jokes, and I will always, when I see this, I would like to think that it is the same character that Treat Williams is playing in Dead Heat. It's similar, very much similar type of film, like a very much tongue-in-cheek, but yet, menacing film. Yeah. Seeing Williams in the film was a treat, says Timo M, and yeah, you are probably right. And I think this is a very little known film, and it deserves more attention, definitely. Like Tutipunti there in the chat says, haven't seen that, but need to check it out. So I highly recommend this film for everybody, because especially if you're a fan of creature features, I don't think you will be disappointed. when seeing this. And everybody who has seen this film, my favorite scene is in this film. Not this is not including the monster, but there's this one black guy who opens the safe and he's like, money, 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 money. Then the ones who have seen the films probably remember that scene. that is very funny. There is no Finnish DVD, no Finnish Blu-ray, no. It was only on VHS in Finland, so this is so little known film, and I don't think this was even released on DVD in any other parts of the world. The only other digital release I know is the cheap Blu-ray from USA, which shares the disc with Puppet Master. That is also another film that, needs this kind of special treatment. Treat Williams treatment. Okay, this thing is packed with extras. Okay, we got interviews. Unfortunately, we don't have interviews from Treat Williams or Famke Janssen, but we have interviews with director Steven Summers, audio commentary, and interview with Wes Studi and Dean Candy, who was the second assistant director on this show. And then we got interview of Kevin J. Connor, and then VFX interviews from VFX guys, and lots of test footage from the effects and stuff like that. Great stuff. But only thing I was disappointed because this didn't include the dailies about the Captain Puppet getting his face sucked off and eyes popping out and brains pouring out. I wish they would have included it in these extras, but no. Instead, we only get these CGI shots. And unfortunately, this is Region A locked because it's a Kino Lorber release. Hey, by the way, I have to tell you, this was Region 3, the robot monster. But in usual Kino Lorber way, their releases usually are Region A locked. So you need a Region 3 player, or you need to live in United States if you want to see Deep Rising. But yeah, release I will give it 4 stars, and also for the film I will give it 4 stars. Highly recommend this if you have not seen this thing. This thing includes Deep Rising. Timo M says Deep Rising was released in Great Britain on DVD. Okay, alright. No subs though. Okay, that is unknown release to me. But yeah, great. Glad to know that. Yeah. So, any questions about Deep Rising? Money, 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 money. Ooh la la. Getting warm, getting warm, getting warmer. So then, the main event. From Tampa, from Congress Street 100, Bridgeport, Kentucky. Is CT Kentucky? I don't know. Comes Vinegar Syndrome package, and yeah, like I said, FedEx was, they really kept this from me, and I had to call there, and they didn't even nowadays they don't even accept calls. You have to call for this automat, and then that was for the fucking birds, and then I had to send message to the chat operator, and he could help me. He set up the next delivery attempt quite easily, but yeah. Okay, so this is an August subscriber Vinegar Syndrome box, and if you're not familiar with Vinegar Syndrome, you can be a subscriber, so you will receive almost everything they release in the monthly basis. So first from the August box is this thing called Killer Condom. It's a German film from year 1996, and yeah, let's check out the packaging. Okay, first of all we have this stop cover looking like this. Ooh la la, ooh. And then we have a slipcover looking like this. And then obviously we have the Amare box looking like this, and reversible sleeve with this new artwork. And for starters, we could discuss a little bit about the artwork here. Okay, so I don't know. Maybe this is in the style of the comic book, because this film was based on the comic book by Ralph Koenig. And then I have never read the comic book, but I would like to think that this is on par with the art style of the original artwork, because it looks like a Finnish comic book Myrkky, if you remember that thing. So basically this artwork looks like a Myrkky artwork. So even with the condoms and dicks and all, looks like a Myrkky. And then these two, I'm not the biggest fan of this type of artworks. And yeah, so I don't know, it's a acquired taste obviously, but moving on. This is a Vinegar Syndrome release, says Samia Elämää. Myrkky is a classic. Yes, Myrkky indeed is a classic. But here we have the Ultra HD disc of the film, and this, mind you, this is the director's cut. This is the original cut that director intended this film. It's 10 minutes longer than the theatrical cut, and as far as I understood from the extras, this is never previously been released anywhere, this director's cut. And then we have the Blu-ray, which includes the director's cut as well, and the part of extras. And then we have the other Blu-ray, which includes also the theatrical cut of the film, which is 10 minutes shorter or something like that. Yeah. So 3 disc set, and mind you, these Blu-rays, these are region A locked. So if you don't have 4K player and not a region free player and you're living outside the United States, I'm afraid you're gonna have to have a region free player to play this. So what is this film about? So it's about this detective, hard-boiled detective, who is a gay cop, and he is working on this case because in this hotel, what was the hotel called? Hotel called, okay, some seedy hotel in New York. So okay, this film is set in New York, even though everybody is speaking German. I think that was a nice twist. You know, usually films that are set in Berlin, everybody speaks English. At least in some cases, but in this case it was like a reverse roles, and I think it was a nice little touch. So this detective is working on the case which involves like people's dicks are being bitten off, and all the other cops are blaming, you know, these like deranged hookers that bite dicks off their clients. But this cop is certain that because he has seen this thing, he has seen the killer condom, he is certain that killer condom is on the loose. And because he saw this, because he was trying to fuck this one guy, and the killer condom bit off one of his testicles. So it's a crazy premise, right? Yeah. And this is a horror comedy, right? But I don't know. It's more like a detective story with a crazy plot. Okay? And while this film is, you know, played pretty seriously, it's funny, but it's played pretty realistically. I was thinking that, okay, what is bugging me with this film? You know, like I was watching, like I was engaged like for an hour, but okay, then I realized that, okay, I still have almost half to go. It kind of overstays its welcome, because I don't think it has enough story. Even though there's like crazy plot twists and all and stuff like that, and there's like really like a diabolical scene behind all these killer condoms, but and all. Another thing which kind of rubbed me the wrong way was this. It was these killer condoms. They were played for laughs. You know, they were. how would I say this? You know, they had this funny music. You know, funny music, and they were these funny sound effects. That is the best I can explain it. You know, the film doesn't take its, you know, this monster seriously. This monster was played for laughs, so it kind of took the power, at least for me, away from this film, and it felt like, okay, this is running way too long. I don't know. I also have this. I have this very rare Finnish VHS here, Tappaja Kondoomi, Kamras Film Group, the distributors of very obscure films, and this was originally distributed by Truma, and I think through them it got released also in Finland. And yeah, I have seen this previously, and yeah, many people were very excited to hear that Vinegar is doing 4K on Killer Condom, but I wasn't, because I remember that I didn't like it too much when I saw this, like, I don't know, 20 years ago from this VHS. I think it's 25 years old, and never after that I had the, you know, like the need to see it again. But now I saw it again on 4K, and gotta tell you, I was not that impressed. This was not a film for my taste. It was too silly. So I don't know. I will give this film. I will give 2 stars. Not my cup of tea. I can understand. It's like very pro-gay. There's lots of gay characters. The main character is gay, and I don't mind that. It's okay, but it is, like I said, too silly. That is the best I can do, and not very engaging story-wise. So 2 stars for this film from me, and let's talk about the release. Okay, gotta tell you, I think this is the one of the better Vinegar Syndrome 4K restorations I have seen. Maybe it's because this is very new film. Okay, not a new, over 25 years old, but this was made in year 1996. So that means that they used probably better cameras, probably better film stock. So the picture quality is simply just outstanding. It's very bright, very sharp all the time. I don't think I saw too much of these like out of focus pictures, which are pretty usual when you watch film, like say from the 80s. So technically this was very impressive, and there's a nice amount of film grain, but that is very fine grain. So it's very sharp, very little grain, colorful, nice looking throughout. Maybe because it was mostly shot in studios, because there's external shots that were actually shot in New York City, which is kind of fun, kind of neat to see German production to be shot in New York City, in the street of New York City, which usually you don't see, you know, like European movies shot in the actual streets of New York. But mostly it was shot in studios, so maybe they had, you know, better conditions to film this. I don't know. But plainly put, film looks absolutely fantastic. And this thing has extras up the ass, man. It got interviews from the director, interviews from the star, interviews even from the, you know, the director or the special effects guy. And the special effects guy on this film was none other than Jörg Butgereit. Yes, you heard correctly. The Jörg Butgereit, the guy who directed Necromantic and Scrum and whatnot. So he made the special effects, these kind of condom effects in this film. And he too said that one scene was so gruesome that the producers said that we probably cannot use this scene because it's supposed to be a comedy, so we will not use it. It was some condom when it bit the dick off from one guy and like spit it out. So producers thought that was too gruesome. And hey, mind you, this was also supervised. The special effects were supervised by none other than H.R. Giger. he designed the condoms and made kind of this illustration of these strange condom devices that the film utilizes. So basically, it's fine. Everything is fine. It's you know, it's well acted, well made, but I don't know, something is missing. Some hook was missing for me. Didn't catch me along this film. And the Blu-ray disc includes the interviews, and then, like I said, it includes the theatrical cut in the third disc, and also essays on the film, and a bunch more interviews from the editor and whatnot. So basically you get, like, I think at least 2 hours of interviews to go along with this thing. So, okay, I probably cannot recommend it personally, but if you have seen Killer Condom, or if you're curious to see Killer Condom, I think this is the way to see it. You know, it's the very good quality picture and very great release. But if you have seen it, and if you're like me, and for you it's like, yeah, it's a curiosity. For me, it's a curiosity. But if you're like me, then I won't recommend getting this, but yeah. 2 stars for the film, but I will give at least 4 stars for the release. I love Vinegar Syndrome. I think they're doing great job, says Hosuli Hemuli. Hey, I think so too. What 4K player you have? Hey, I have LG. No. I have Panasonic, but I don't remember the model of the Panasonic player. Maybe I need to do some video about my home theater equipment. I have done some videos, but maybe I need to do another one of those. I remember the silly looking cover of Kamra's film Group VHS release of Killer Condom. I have never seen the film though. Yeah, this is the silly looking cover. So if this is from comic book, then it doesn't resemble any of this thing. But I have never seen the comic book, so I cannot comment what the comic book looks like. Alright, let's move on to the next subject. And so next up we have this thing called Amazon Jail 1 and 2. Now these are Brazilian films from 1982 and 1987, directed by some guy called I don't know, some guy that I don't know, Osvaldo de Oliveira, and the other one was directed by Conrado Sanchez. So I don't know anything about these guys, but that I do know that I had previously seen Amazon Jail 1. I had from somewhere I got the Greek videotape, and I don't know where did I put that, so I cannot show that. Maybe I gave it to someone or sold it to someone, I don't know, but I don't have that anymore. But basically I didn't even know that there was a sequel of this film. So let's see what is this thing all about. So Amazon Jail 1 and 2, they're like a sexploitation films from the 80s. And hey, I gotta tell you, now which one of these covers would you prefer? Now this is great. This is fantastic. I think this is something that I really like. The back cover, that's fantastic. That is simply awesome. And then we have the, regular Amaray gaze, and then we have the reversible sleeve. This is probably from the part 2 of the series. We have 2 discs, 2 Blu-rays of this film. Or in this release, and obviously the first one includes Amazon Jail and the second one includes Amazon Jail 2, but rather than their actual name is Prisoners of the Amazon Jungle or something like that. So what is this thing about? So I was watching it and I was like, man, this is boring as hell. First Amazon Jail, I had previously seen it, like I said, and I gave it half stars previously. I watched it in 1999, and pretty picturing is that, but when I was thinking about that, I was thinking to myself that, man, I don't remember ever seeing none of this. So basically, okay, this is about this, prison camp in the middle of Amazon jungle. They are hijacking ladies and they are selling them as sex slaves. And yeah, the ladies try to escape and they lure this one guard to help them. And then there's this sadistic couple who run this show and they drink and party and have orgies and stuff like that. And then obviously the ladies escape only to find another weird prison camp. So this thing is dragging along for 90 minutes when it's time to start winding things down. Now, okay, in my time in this planet I have seen pretty many a lot of women in prison films. So what makes women in prison films the better ones? What makes them, watchable? So let's talk about some films like Jack Hill's The Big Bird Case or The Big, Dollhouse. So what makes them great is the exploitative elements in this and great characters and, tough attitude. But this has none of that. This just drags along, and this is pretty much like it's a non-movie. I would call this a non-movie. There's just simply scenes put together that need to be in this type of film, and the violence is almost non-existent in this film. And yeah, there's a lot of female nudity. I give the film that. Basically. Especially towards the end of this movie, the ladies are, half naked all the time. And then there's sex scenes which are not that impressive to go to begin with. And okay, one funny scene, I gotta tell you, one funny scene from this Amazon jungle, I have to say, and that was the scene from where this one of the girls, they escape the prison camp and she sees Nightmare, and then the nightmare is about some hand gliders. They probably took that from some other films, and then the lady says, "Oh my god, what a terrible nightmare! I saw a dream about the Batman who they flew around me and then they tried to rape me." No, they didn't. They didn't do shit. They were just fucking hand gliders. So what was the point of that? So basically, the movie is full of that. Like, what the fuck is the point of that shit? I don't know. Very boring film. I will stick to my half star rating. I don't see any point. Nobody watching this film unless you're a perfectionist of female in prison films and perfectionist of Brazilian sexploitation films. Well, maybe this is for you. But then came Amazon Jail 2. Oh boy. I have a clip for you from Amazon Jail 2.
Explode? Exploded.
So, Amazon Jail 2, Prisoners in the Amazon Jungle. This is like a comedy version of this fucking Amazon Jail 1. This doesn't make absolutely any sense whatsoever. I think that was one of the weirdest films I have seen this year. And I have seen plenty. I have seen Doris Wishman films. But I think Amazon Jail 2 takes the cake. It's like a Wile E. Coyote version of the first one. So there is this Indian princess that is being hijacked by this group of people who have their camp in the Amazon jungles, and their business is to sell ladies to the rich buyers, and they want to sell this Indian princess to this kind of Japanese crime lord who says that they say that okay, we sell you this princess and then you shall become the emperor of Japan. Why? How does that work? How the fuck does that work? How would you become an emperor of Japan when you buy a slave? I don't care who it is. Maybe Japanese people would, say something about that. What about the real emperor? Doesn't he have something to say about that? I don't know. But this is the plot. So these ladies, this princess and that bunch of other ladies, they escape with the help of these couple of assholes who you saw on that clip. And they escape to the jungles and the other party is coming to hunt them. And basically that's your movie. So you get, for an hour you get this kind of weird sketches, weird skits in the jungle and these weird sound effects like a beep, 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 beep. Somebody's hit in the head, beep, 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 beep. And somebody's running like, yeah, there's a race car sound or sirens or anything like this. I mean, who is this film made for? I think this was made for kids, but I wonder if any kid would, get to rent this like a sexploitation film. Okay, I have to tell you, there wasn't even nudity in this film. So clearly this was made for kids, and probably they didn't intend to make this like a, adult movie, but I think in some territories they were desperate to sell this film, so they named it Amazon Jail 2. That's gotta be the only reason. I mean, my god. Holy shit. This is impossible. This film is impossible to rate. Simply put. Man, it's gotta be 0 stars or 5 stars. There's absolutely no middle ground for that. So you will make your own decision. Which one is it? But okay, the release itself. Now, there were no extras on this second disc, but I think there was a pretty impressive set of extras in this first disc. First of all, we got the interviews of the director of the first movie. Then we got the like a interview from the scholar of Brazilian sexploitation films. We get the interviews of some of the actors in these films, and then we got an hour-long video essay about the what was it? The hour-long video essay Latin American exploitation cinema. I mean this. The Sadian Woman in Prison 60-minute documentary. Now, I didn't watch this documentary video essay, but all other extras I watched, and I was thinking that, man, I am impressed. For films marginal as this, they come up like almost 2 hours worth of extra. I think it's a little bit more than 2 hours. So, well, hey, that's a respectable achievement from Vinegar Syndrome. Hosuli Hemuli says, oh, I haven't laughed that much for a while. What the fuck? So let's play it again and say, what the fuck is this shit? And by the way, that guy who is behind the rocks, he is taking shit.
Well,
Why would you ask a dynamite, hey, aren't you gonna explode? And after the explosion, why there is a cut in this like a camel creature? Why? I don't know. But when you're watching this film, you constantly are asking yourself, why? What is this? What is this thing? Sami Elämää says, I really thought that Fat Man will fart on the dynamite and then it explodes. Well, that would be probably even better. Okay, the last movie of this evening, or should I say collection of movies, it is finally here, the Cardona Collection Part 2. As you remember, here is the Cardona Collection Part 1, which included the films Treasure of the Amazon, Triangle of the Bermuda Mystery, and Cyclone. But this box includes 4 movies. Beaks, the movie, Under Siege, La Casa que Arde de Noche, Sos Conspiration, Bikini. Okay, 4 movies in this one kick-ass packaging. Okay, so did I also already lose this slipcover? Probably it came with slipcover, but I don't know where the hell did I put it. But never mind that. Let's check out this. Okay, we have Beaks, the movie. Remember the film called Jaws? Now comes Beaks. Just when you thought it was safe to go outside, there comes Beaks, not Jaws. The bird's beaks. Okay, nice looking stop cover, and this is what I'm talking about. This is the art style I expect from Vinegar Syndrome. Okay, great looking stuff all around. Nothing to complain. And yeah, here we have Beaks, the movie, Under Siege, and Sos Compariazioni Bikini, and then La Casa que Arde de Noche. Okay, I had only time to watch Beaks, the movie, and no extras or whatever, so I have to I can only tell you about the Beaks, the movie. Alright, nice looking reversible sleeve here. Beaks, the movie is here. Maybe I put this on the top side, and now. So what is René Cardona? René Cardona is a Mexican film director, and he has made name for himself from films like Tintorera and Treasure of the Amazon and stuff like that. Basically, he was like a king of B-movies in Mexican cinema. And this is the collection of his films, and I do understand that they're not gonna be third one. This is it. And this second one got, delayed very many times, and now it is here. Okay, the Beaks, the movie, is like a birds. Beaks is like birds, but on steroids. So weird things start to happen all around the world when, birds are attacking people. And then there's these reporters who are investigating the thing and, interviewing people who have been attacked by the birds. And then it comes to that they have to escape the city, and then we also follow this one family who is in the house and trying to manage during the attack of the birds. So basically it's like the same story of like in the birds, but told in the different perspective. So first of all, I gotta mention that this thing has a very weird and eerie atmosphere in it, and I think it's by mistake. I don't think René Cardona Jr. is, that good of a filmmaker that he would, have designed it. But there's constant this very foreboding synthesizer score playing in this film, and there's so many slow motion scenes in these films. Birds are flying, going towards the people and whatnot. All this, makes it like very, how would you say, hypnotic film. I don't know. That's the best way I can describe it. And then one thing I gotta is in some place it's very gory. There's lots of gore. People are getting their eyes peeled off and whatnot. I have a clip for you now. There you can see the slow motion. And the gore. Yeah, that's a a taste for you of the of the Beaks, the movie. I really liked how they, exploited Jaws. Just call it Beaks. Yeah, it's gory in places. And then, one thing I find it very, they couldn't do this nowadays. Because there's so many scenes that clearly actual birds are being, mistreated, to say the least. And I don't know if some of the birds who are, shot in this film, I don't know if the filmmakers after that ate the hunted birds. So please be advised, if you're at all offended about the animal cruelty, you don't want to see this film. I think that's a, if the birds were, made for food, now I don't see why couldn't you shoot that? But if not, then it's not okay. I don't know. But then another thing, this has lots of scenes with actual little people. I mean, little children. Children under 6 years of old are interacting with the birds. And I don't know, how would you get a permission from the parent to do a scene where there's like flocks of birds are flying around your kid? I don't know, how did they do that? Because I don't think there were any, like supervisors or, like glass screens protecting the kids. They're actually in the middle of the, the raging birds. So, oh man, things were very different back then. And I'm pretty glad that you couldn't do a film like this nowadays. No way. You had to use CGI and make films like Birdemic instead. But this was the time. This was made in was it 1987 or something? Yeah, 1987 from Mexico. And it was... the actors are speaking English, and I'm quite sure that I have seen this lady actress. I don't remember her name. I have seen it in a bunch of other films. But yeah, I think The Beaks, the movie, I really liked it. It was eerie, it was engaging. Okay, have to get. It was very padded on. It had lots of slow motion, but I think overall it was very made with good speed and pacing, and it was like it was jaw-dropping at places, and I think it had a very good production value. They escaped the birds with a train. There's lots of extras all around, lots of explosions, and lots of great scenery. So I think that they didn't have I think they even had a very strong budget with this when they were making this film. Interesting film to say the least. And yeah, I could recommend this. But if you don't like to see, I don't like to see animals mistreated, but if you're very strongly offended by that, then absolutely I will not recommend this film. Yeah. And I'm looking forward to see Under Siege, not the Steven Seagal film, or La Casa que Arde de Noche, or Conspiration Bikini, but as of now I haven't watched them, so cannot comment on them. So Cardona collection is there to get from Vinegar Syndrome, and also Killer Condom, and also the weird double feature Amazon Jail. So if you got at all interested in that stuff, so go to the vinegarsyndrome.com and order yourself a treat there. Okay, that's it for this show. I don't have anything other to unbox. Actually, I do have one box there, but yeah, it has run over an hour still, and I haven't watched all of them, so maybe I will continue next week from that box. And it was a llama, not a camel. Well, yeah, not an expert on the jungle creatures. Damn, those birds are real in that. Yeah, they used real birds. I don't think they have used any animatronics or anything like that. They used real birds and real actors and real child actors in many scenes. I don't know, how would you do that? If I would go to a movie, to act in a movie, and the director said, hey, we're gonna put you in a room with 15 crazy birds, and we're making them real angry, and they will fly around you, I will say, no, I won't go in that room. I will absolutely not go in that room, because I don't like it. I mean, it's very disturbing to be there in the middle of peaks in the real life. Beaks, yes. I think the answer is that it is done in Mexico. Henkmeister, you are quite right. There were no rules back then in Mexico in the 80s. That's for dang sure. If the pay is good, I would do it, says Snake Plissken. Well, he's a Snake Plissken. He can do anything. He can save president from the island of prisoners. Yeah. Alright, hey, next week, if nothing happens, nothing special happens, I will continue my unboxing process and will try to give you reviews of the films like this, and also if there's funny clips like the Amazon jail, I will put the clip there. Yeah, but that's it for me now, and now
hell yeah, alright.
End music playing and start winding things down. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you the next week or the week after that. Hey, you've been great, and hey, Timo M and Tutti Punti, thank you very much for the super chats. I love you. Good night, ciao, says Lily. Thank you, Stephen Grimes. Great show. Thank you. See you soon on live, says Sami Elämä. See you too. And thank you for your subscription, by the way, Sami Elämä. I will have a nice evening, and you too, Henkmeister. You too, my man. I think I will go watch Under Siege next.
Bitch, we're talking with our boy Willie. You know he's got the shit. He's dancing real hard. I know you'll
have a nice evening, everybody, and greetings for 15 subs. Yeah, 1500. Yeah, hey. Thank you for all your subscribers.
They call him Suburban Commando. He's a big motherfucker and he's dropping it low.
Lily is starting Stone Cold. Oh man, you are in for a treat.
Ever seen this motherfucker running naked through your backyard? Video talk, bitch, we're talking video talk. Get your video talk. You best subscribe. You best subscribe or die. You best subscribe or dive to video talk.